This is Flyover Film Country.
Hello, welcome back to Flyover Film Country. This is a podcast, a film podcast for all you protozoa and bacteria out there in space. We are making a podcast strictly for you. If you are not protozoa, if you are a complex, living being, I'm sorry. You can't listen to this podcast anymore.
You're not welcome.
Nope.
Go on now, get
it. Olivia, what is Flyover Film Country for real?
Flyover Film Country is a podcast brought to you by people who live in Flyover Film Country area, Flyover Country, And we're here today to talk about Project Hail Mary, which I think is a movie for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we just dive right in?
Let's get into it.
I think we should dive right in. Here's the thing. We're actually going to dive right in. After I find out, I think this got to be Isaac who's not on this episode, by the way, who put on some different sounds on this board.
It was for sure Isaac.
Okay, let's...
Boy, is he strict.
That was from the Blazing Saddles.
And find out what's happening.
Hold on, I wasn't on this episode, so I gotta... Hold on. This is so long. Why did he put this whole thing in there?
I think it's just the whole movie, actually.
Yeah, just started playing Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Hey, where are the white women at?
That's what I was waiting for. Why did he
for.
not just put that one line?
I don't know if he could get find just the one line. I don't know. If
I
he
guess
could do
so.
It. So
pistol whip. Okay, nice.
We've been catching up on Abbott Elementary, and there was a camping episode, and someone brought a bunch of beans for the kids to cook, and I think it was Melissa goes, "Have you never seen Blazing Saddles? This is a terrible idea."
We gotta catch up. I think we only watched the first 2 seasons, maybe. In that show.
Yeah, they're on season 5
so
now,
good.
so yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
We liked it, but anything that's not Vanderpump Rules right now, we're not making time for. So
sure,
rightfully so. But you did make time to drive all the way to Little Rock to see Project Hail Mary.
Y'all, Walter went to the movies. I went to the movie theater.
Hey, let's give it up for Walter going to the movies. Yeah.
He did it.
I lost my connection for a second, so I don't know how long that went. I did. We went to the movie. I saw it. I can't say I saw it with Walker because I sat in the row in front of him. He waited too long to buy my ticket, and there were no seats around Walker and all of his in-laws, which is who he saw this movie. It's interesting. He with his in-laws, but not his wife.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Nashville.
Yes.
Yeah, she was.
Savannah was in Nashville on a bachelorette trip. My sister's bachelor. This is how great of a relationship Savannah and I have with our families. She was hanging out with my sister while I was hanging out with her family. So we've got really healthy relationships going on over here. But yeah, I saw it with my brother-in-law and his wife, and then my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, who
good crew
are the reason that I read the book Project Hail Mary last year, because they all passed it around and all loved it so much. So then I ended up getting it passed to me and reading it.
And Walker, you are the reason that I read the book, because you kept talking about it, and I was like, yes, I need to read it. And I knew the movie was going to come out at some time this year. And then last week I saw... Or I think, Walker, you had texted me, like, I just got tickets to see, to see it in IMAX on Saturday, and I was like, I didn't know it was coming out that soon, so I better start this book. I think I started the book Wednesday night of last week.
You marathoned it.
Girl. Almost said brother, because I'm used to saying brother. Girl.
That's gender neutral.
Yeah.
Brother is gender neutral. We need to be real about that. That's so true.
Bro and dude are gender neutral. I just
dude is the most gender neutral out of all of them.
So gender neutral.
Yeah. I started the book Wednesday night, and I wasn't nervous about it because Walker told me he read the book in like 2 days, and so I was like, I was like, if Walker can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because
So
Walker can barely read, right?
Yeah.
I think he's illiterate.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just memorized a bunch of words.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that what reading is?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? We don't know. So started Wednesday night. When I say start, I mean I read like 4 pages and then fell asleep because it was really late when I started it. And
It was 9:02.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And then I finished the book 3 hours before our movie started on Saturday. Like you thought marathoned it. Like I got it done. And I gotta say, so happy that I read the book before I saw the movie. Even happier that I finished it 3 hours before the movie. It could not have been more fresh on my brain. And so like I was almost like shaking with anticipation, like during the 30 minutes of trailers they showed before the movie. I was like, please, I have to see Rocky. Because I didn't even watch any trailers for this movie. I just read the book. I saw a couple of like stills, like screenshots, from like the hype around it, but didn't see. I did not know what this movie was even going to look like. And I'm like, I need to get into this. But no, we have to sit through 30 minutes of trailers.
Mm-hmm. And then an AMC ad, and then a Coke ad, and then another AMC ad, and then the IMAX countdown.
Mm-hmm.
And Netflix just announced they're raising their prices for the second time this year. Which is simple. You know what?
Great.
It's related. This is just everything's just getting worse, and we're paying more money for those things that are getting worse.
Except movies
Project
are pretty
Hail
good
Mary.
right now. Yeah, and this movie was.
Movies are really good, and I like. So y'all know me. Like I do not like watching movie trailers because I like to. I'm talking way too much. I haven't been on the. I've missed y'all. I've been on this.
Hey, it's
I've
good
been
to
on the
hear
show
your voice, man.
in a while. I know it's good to be here. Sorry, I got a lot of thoughts to get out. I do not like to watch movie trailers, especially for movies that I know I want to see, because I just like to go in as blind as possible.
Mm-hmm.
One exception has always been Spider-Man, and I even watched that stupid like 2-second video clips that they were drip feeding to us. I watched them because
like a drug
Spider-Man.
addict. You're just like, I just need
I'm
a little
tapping
hit.
my arm. Yeah, I'm scratching my neck. Like, hey, y'all got any one of those Spider-Man clips? And so obviously I watched. I think one of y'all sent in the group chat the day the trailer officially dropped last week, and I was on my way to drop my daughter off at daycare. Of course, I put that on my phone and let it play as I was driving that morning. Watched it again when I got to my office that day, and then they played the trailer because they played every trailer that's ever existed before we saw Project Hail Mary on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, but we saw it in IMAX, which was we'll talk about the IMAX experience. So it means the trailer, the Spider-Man trailer, played in IMAX, and I got even more excited for the new Spider-Man movie. And I had also, and I didn't mean to watch the Dune trailer, Dune Part 3, because I definitely want to see that in theaters. I don't want to see trailers for it, but dear Lord, does that look so good. Seeing the trailer in then IMAX, I'm like, I'm sweating watching that. And then right after the Dune 3 trailer, they played the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu, and it made it look like a theme park ride. So, sorry, Star Wars. They played the Dune trailer right before you, and it made you look like ass. So, unfortunate for our boy Pedro and the little baby Yoda. So that was everything leading up to me seeing the movie, and I will let y'all talk.
I was gonna say, I think Pedro's okay. He's probably
Pedro's
making
great.
$1 billion.
He's doing fine.
He's doing fine. So, where do we even start with this movie?
Well, Olivia, you didn't have AC in your theater.
Yeah.
I didn't have AC in the theater, and then I also came home to my AC not working in my house, and that was Saturday. We were recording this on a Thursday. I finally have AC as of like 3 hours ago.
Let's give it up for Olivia.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah. So thank you.
I think God wanted to make you feel like you were in the vacuum of space, just like Ryan Gosling.
Is that what he
You
wants?
think space is warm?
Yeah.
Space just feels like you don't have AC. Everything else is normal, I think.
That's an interesting theory, I guess.
It looks like a good time up there.
Yeah.
Nothing about space feels appealing to me.
No.
I don't understand why people want to go there.
How many times when y'all were watching this movie and or reading the book were you like, oh, I would die within 10 minutes of waking up from that coma?
Like a million times.
Dude.
Yeah.
So many times you're like, oh, I'm so glad they didn't send me
Yeah.
in this fictional story. As if this ever happened in real life, they would pick me anyway. As if I would be like, no, I can't. Yeah, I don't want to be the hero. I'm like, no, you're literally too much of a dumbass for us to send you in space. Like, you will doom the human race.
You weren't even in our top 50%. like you're bottom of the barrel.
Don't worry, dog. You're going to be freezing in the ice with the rest of us.
Yeah, you're not helping with this. Yeah.
Did you read the book?
No, I didn't read the book. Honestly, this is going to be kind of a hot take for a lot of people, I think. I have gotten to the point where I don't even really care that much to read the book before I see the movie, because every time I do that, I am thoroughly disappointed by the film adaptation. So
okay.
Maybe not every time. That's
so
a little
fair.
dramatic.
No.
Very
That's
fair.
valid.
But
No. Very
a lot.
valid.
Yeah.
And Walker, you might be saying what I'm about to say, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I totally understand that. And it's like, I was not disappointed in this at all, having read the book and having
that's
loved
what I've
the book.
heard.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it is
everyone I know who had read the book prior to seeing the movie said that this is a great adaptation. I went with 3 of my friends, and one of them, my friend Tyler, he had read the book, and he said it's the best film adaptation of a book he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And he started reading the book again, like, I think that same night we saw it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Go ahead, Walker.
I was going to say, there's obviously like some stuff in the book, and I'm sure we'll bring it up and talk about it, that would have been really cool to see on screen. And the book talks a lot more about the science. Like, there's a lot of science in the book that's not in the movie. Thankfully, it would make for probably a pretty boring movie, I'm going to be honest, if there was as much science that's in the book in the movie. But yeah, adaptation-wise, this is top tier. I mean, it's amazing. And some of the moments that they're able to pull off, that when I was reading it and knowing they're making a movie, I was just already thinking, I don't know how they're going to do it. And they did it every single time. Every single time they did it.
There were, Walker, you and I were like talking about it a little bit in the parking lot afterward, but, and as we might have already said this, but the thing, like, no one can ever do a one-to-one book-to-film adaptation.
Yeah.
They're two different mediums.
Yeah.
You have to change some things for it to work. And I think, like, I can't think of really any changes that they made from book to movie this time that I disagreed with.
Yeah.
Like, every change they made, I was like, yep, like, they had to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and just for example, Olivia, in the book, the Grace has a lot. It's first person, and it's a lot of it is his like inner monologue with himself. Like he talks to himself a lot. Obviously, because especially when he's not with Rocky or anybody else, like he's doing the science stuff in his head. He's doing the calculations, and so there's a lot of exposition that happens just in his head. And so in the movie, the way I was like, because that was one thing, Walker, I was like, how are they going to do this? Like, how are they going to, like, not even about all the science, but just about like his thought process and like how he like is handling things. And they just like, well, those have him do a video log. We'll have him talking to a camera, and that'll be like that. The video log was not in the books at all. Like, that is not anything he did. But as soon as he did that, I was like, perfect solution. Like, great, because like that gives you so much of his inner monologue. And it helps, kind of round out more of like his like sense of humor and stuff, especially like when he's complaining about Rocky being being a bad roommate. Like, so funny. Like the way like it felt so real, but that wasn't in the book, and I was totally fine with that change because it gave a lot more character and personality to both of those characters, and just like it was just so. Anyway, I don't want to want to glaze out of order here because this whole episode will be glazing. So we'll stick with it. And I'll shut up. What do y'all Walker, do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, no, I think that was the best way to do it. Like, I'm glad they didn't go the voiceover route. Like, I think that
would not have worked.
It would not have worked as well. This was a lot more effective. And yeah, I think it's funny though that the what is the lady's name who's in charge of Project Hail Mary?
Strat.
So Strat in the book would not have allowed for a video camera to be on the thing because there is like a whole part of the book where they're talking about, we should add this, and she's like, that is not 100% necessary to their mission. That will not go on. Like, we are not wasting any weight on stuff like this. So it is like, obviously is necessary for the movie, but I was thinking about that, how like in the book she would have been like, don't give a shit not doing that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was a great change. And there's a couple of things that kind of changed about Strat as well. Like the karaoke scene was not in the book, but an amazing addition to the movie.
Yeah, so that scene also not in the script. From what I've understood is that's the cast heard the actress singing in her dressing room and was like, "Oh, you should sing in the karaoke scene." And the directors asked her to, and she said, "Okay, I will. I just have to pick the song."
Yeah.
And so
they shot
that scene not knowing if they would even be able to get the rights for the song. And it was like towards the end of the day too. So I think they only got like a take or two of it, they said. Like, so it's really, and that scene is such like, it is so important, I think, in that part of the movie, and so good. And the song is perfect. Like, it's crazy how stuff just works sometimes, like creatively, how it just finds. That's like some of the magic stuff that just finds its way in. It's awesome.
And the song choice, sorry, go ahead, Olivia.
I was gonna say, I think that's just like the whole of this movie is like everything just works.
Yeah.
You know, everything in this movie just works. Like James Ortiz, who is the main puppeteer, he wasn't originally going to do the voice. They were going to try to figure out who was going to do the voice for Rocky. Well, he ended up just doing it because he was so good at it, and he and Ryan Gosling had such great chemistry that they were just like, let's just have you do the voice, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Walter, you were going to say something about the song choice.
No, that's awesome. No, it's great note to Olivia. And we will definitely spend a lot of time talking about Rocky in just a minute. I just want to say, like, the song choice, like that Harry Styles song, also just thematically fit perfect for the movie and that moment in the movie. Like, it almost makes you wish it was in the book. You know, like I don't know how they would do it. It wouldn't have worked really well in the book, but amazing addition to the movie. And correct me, was that right after the scene with the two of them on the flight deck, like just Grace and Strat?
Mm-hmm.
They had like a moment up there. Yeah. Just a really great, like the dynamics of the movie, the push and pull between like drama, humor, exposition, intensity, like just the dynamics of that was just perfectly executed from beat to beat, from scene to scene, shot to shot. Like everybody was just in their bag. Like I feel like it is so rare to see a movie like that where it's like, as soon as you go from one scene to the next, you're like, yep, that was perfect. Yep, perfect. Yep. And even like having read the book, like knowing the story and everything, like still managing to surprise me with things. Like just
there's so much. I think we'll get it. I want to get into something that we could talk about for the rest of the episode, honestly, but one of the things that's so effective in this movie that you notice right off the bat is because this movie is told in two different times, because when Grace first wakes up, you know, he doesn't remember why he's there. He doesn't know what's going on. So we're slowly getting pieces of the past and learning why he's there. And so in shooting this and in the cinematography, their decision to do space in the full screen aspect ratio and then all the Earth past stuff in widescreen is just like Sinners last year was an amazing like switching aspect ratio. This to me was like, oh, this is almost like this is such an effective way to do that and like consistently and help it and assist in telling your story that it made me like want to do it now. Like figure out a
Yeah.
way to make a film to do this, like because
And
it was so
also when they would cut back and forth, when they would cut to the flashback scenes or him on
good.
Earth,
Yeah.
the camera would tilt up.
Yes. Yeah.
As if he was like kind of coming up and like waking up.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good. It was subtle, but it was
There's
just great
Yeah.
choices.
There's something else really cool too about those transition shots between space and then back on Earth, where they said that the directors were talking to Mr. Fraser himself, saying like we need something to like signal that transition a little bit more. And I think what they said he did is they were like they had shot the movie and then they projected it onto like a screen, and then he was recording the movie and like moving pieces of glass in front of the lens to like get those really long like stretches of light at points. So like kind of like when it was tilting, like doing that to signal that transition even more, which is like he loves doing stuff like that. Like
Greg Fraser's my goat. I don't think he can do any wrong. Every single shot was just phenomenally lit, composed. If there was movement, it was perfect. Walker, we talked after the movie about how like there was a lot of handheld, even like when they were in space, which is not something you typically see like in something like this. And it was just so well done.
And it's really impressive too to do a movie that takes place mostly in space, but there's still so much practical stuff in this movie. Like a lot of the sets for the ship are like practical and built. Like Rocky is like, I think they said 50% of the time Rocky is on screen, it is 100% a puppet. Like that's crazy. And like
that is crazy.
The clips of him in the ball, I've like seen the behind the scenes, like they built the ball with like a little bar that you can push and roll. And so the guy that voices Rocky and is his main puppeteer as well, he's like running around pushing, like yelling the lines out, you know, when he's talking about how dirty the ship is and like how he needs to clean up. And it's just amazing, the practical stuff. And the scene, I could go on and on, but the scene that really like is amazing to me that is even partly practical is the fishing scene above Adrian, which Adrian is obviously incredibly beautiful.
Dude.
It's such a great part in the movie. But when they do the scene and it's in IR, it's like we see all that red light. Like they shot that. They removed the IR sensor from an Alexa 65 and had a like chicken wire cage around Ryan Reynolds in a spacesuit with IR lights everywhere. Like they shot that shit. Like that
Ryan
Ryan Gosling, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Do not act like Ryan Reynolds could have played this role.
Sorry. No, he couldn't have. He couldn't have.
He wishes.
Yeah.
He could never do it.
I had a friend say something interesting to me yesterday. He said that he thinks that because of after Hail Mary and everything, he's like, I think Ryan Gosling is what we thought Ryan Reynolds was 5 years ago. Like Ryan Gosling is actually that.
Yeah.
And we figure out Ryan Reynolds isn't.
I think Barbie and Project Hail Mary, two very similar movies,
They're exactly the same.
have shown what he could do. Well, I think it was, I can't remember, maybe it was one of the directors when they were talking about how they had cast Gosling for it. They were like, we couldn't think of any other actor who would have the range to do everything that we would need this character to do in a movie like this.
Yeah.
Like, and I think they're right. Like, I can't think of anybody else. Like, he just has just the perfect charisma for who Dr. Grace is supposed to be. Like, obviously, I already knew who was playing Grace in the movie when I was reading the book. But even when I was reading the book, it was like so easy to imagine Ryan Gosling doing all of this stuff and like being the kind of like dorky scientist, middle school science teacher, but then also like being shoved into an astronaut role and like making the best of it. And then also like seeing all like in the flashback scenes on Earth where he's interacting with these world leaders and other scientists, he's so likable. And I'm like, oh, he's just being Ryan Gosling right now. And it fits so well. Like he's making everybody laugh at like these big conference tables, and is just just incredible. Just amazing performances all around. Both from I'm blanking on the guy who played Rocky. You said his name earlier.
James Ortiz.
Thank you. Of course, Ryan Gosling. And then who else? Sandra Hüller, we talked about as Strat. I want to shout out Lionel Boyce as Carl, who I don't. Walker, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really remember him being like a big player in the book.
Not at all.
And he wasn't even in the book at all. Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be in the movie either, but he and Ryan Gosling had such great chemistry that they ended up adding more scenes with him.
Right. Yeah, like
great addition.
I saw the Home Depot scene between them is like totally improv, just like they love the relationship between them, or like, let's go do this.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. Love that. I would, we had the AT&T girl, as the Russian astronaut. She's a great actress. She was in an episode or two of Silicon Valley, that HBO comedy.
Yeah.
It's a few years old at this point, but she played somebody's girlfriend. She was really funny in that too. So good to see her getting more roles. I like, the Yao in the book was described as very stoic, and all that. They made him a little more charismatic and personable in the movie, which I think was a totally fine change. It's we needed more life in the flashback scenes. So I'm glad that they did that. I think it was not like a big cast. He had a lot of extras, of course, but like as far as like important like speaking roles and all that, not that many. So they did a good job with what they had.
Olivia, I feel like Walter and I have been yapping a lot.
I know.
No, here's the deal. Like, I have really enjoyed talking or like listening to you guys talk about it. One, it feels like it's been forever since we've recorded in general, but especially with Walt on here, and so it's just been really nice. I don't know how much more I have to add that you guys haven't already said. I mean, what for me, as someone who didn't read the book beforehand, I wasn't really sure what to expect. And so going in, all I knew was they send him up into space, and at some point he meets an alien, and that's all I really knew. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know why they were sending him into space, other than that, the planet is dying.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but what has been so cool and what was really cool to see it was like we went to the Dolby Theater here in Oklahoma City, and it was like a Saturday afternoon. I think we went to like a 3:30 showing or something, like 3:15, and it was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was full. And so that was really cool to see that everyone is wanting to go see this.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this earlier with someone, that this is probably the most family friendly movie, in the sense of like pretty much anyone can go see this and at least appreciate it. Maybe not love it, but I think like this is a movie that can be enjoyed by the whole family, which is really cool, because it's not, it's not a Disney film. It's not a part of any previous IP, which is really awesome to see that. Like, obviously it's an adaptation, but I think that people want to see more interesting things. And I think like book adaptations are always really, or can be really interesting, and they always don't. They don't always land, right? Like that's not always going to happen. But like that is good source material that I think is often overlooked, because we have the Marvel franchise and Star Wars universe and all this stuff, and it's like, but we can also adapt other things.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think that's one part of the movie that I really appreciate, is that because reading the book, my mind does not go to like, oh, this is like a great movie for a family to go watch. But watching the movie, it 100% is. And I think they make some changes to definitely like push the movie that way. Like, I think Rocky's probably supposed to be a little bit bigger than he actually is in the movie. Like,
and it may be like a little bit scarier.
Yeah, a little bit scarier. And there's like some stuff, like the whole eating thing in the book is kind of the exact opposite of the way it is in the movie, because it's really funny in the movie. But in the book, Rocky does not want Grace to see him eat because I think he understands that it's like gross and like they think it's gross and weird,
like terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
and
Grace
and the book describes it in great detail.
Yes.
Like it is not like cut away like it
Yeah.
like in the movie you get like barely see the corner
Yeah.
of it as silhouette. Yeah.
And then there's one of the things that's cut from the movie that I understand, but like I would have loved to see is the scene where Rocky saves Grace and gets really hurt. After that, essentially, Grace returns the favor and puts Rocky, like he is the person who puts Rocky back into his like little pipe thing that Rocky has built around the Hail Mary and burns his lungs like with all the toxic fumes that are coming out like when he opens it, and like it's so hot, like it's so hot in there, and there's a lot of like the pressure is really different, so like he kind of like messes himself up again trying to save Rocky, and then he does all these things that he's like trying to help him, and then you later figure out that he actually almost killed Rocky, but it's okay.
No.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of, it looks like ash on Rocky's like on his back, and Grace like blows it out with a vacuum, and once Rocky comes back he's like, yeah, that was like what was healing me. And you like got rid of it.
It's basically like a scabs. Like it was like you know like
Oh, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just like there were a few like really like funny quirky moments between the two of them that just didn't make it into the movie, which is for time reasons. You know, it was already 2.5 hours long. There's no way they could have done it all. But they definitely caught the spirit of it.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's fine. Like I'm fine with this being a little bit more for families. I mean, in the book, Olivia, they nuke Antarctica to drop ice into the ocean to like
I saw people talk about that.
Global warming.
Would have been an incredible scene if they had shot it and put it. It would have been awesome.
Can someone just give Greg Fraser like $1 million to just shoot
just to do that one scene?
Just that scene, like just for us.
Yeah.
There was another. I remember texting Walker. I texted Walker a few times as I was reading the book, just to as I was coming across new things. And one of them was the other two astronauts who were supposed to be on it, Dubois and Dubois and one of the other scientists. Well, a lady, I can't remember her name. They were like, this is one of the flashback scenes where Grace is supposed to be teaching them about science, and so it's like a little classroom setting. Yeah. It's like literally just
the first science officer and the backup one, right?
That's right. Yeah. So it's a man and a woman, and they're both really like very straightforward and very dry. And so so Grace is about to start the lesson in Dubois. He goes like, Dr. Grace, just so you're aware, Dr. Shapiro and I have begun a sexual relationship. And there's like, it's like 2 pages long of like Grace being so like caught off guard. And he's like, okay, you don't have to tell me these things. And he's like, we thought it prudent that you would know. And like, and they just like, they don't go into detail about like the sexual stuff, but like they keep talking, they keep bringing it up. And at one point, like they're both in there, and like Dubois turns around to his now girlfriend and was like, "I was wondering, we have 10 minutes after this lesson. Would you like to go have sexual intercourse in a closet?" Like, and then Dr. Shapiro's like, "Yes, that sounds prudent to me." Like, it's really, really funny. But I'm like, it's fine that they cut it in the movie because like they want, they want to keep it family friendly.
There's definitely the implication. Right?
Yes.
It does show those two characters kind of like cuddling up together at some point. Like, so they do still have that in there. And there's a couple, like, in the book, Grace also, even in his inner monologue, does not cuss. And so, of course, they carried that over to the movie. There are a couple other characters who do cuss in the book, and they left that out in the movie. It was totally fine. And I think, like, I saw somebody said this online, that watching Project Hail Mary felt like they were watching a live-action Pixar movie, like a WALL-E kind of thing or something. And I'm like, that's really accurate, like that, like in a good way, like it, like in a classic Pixar kind of way.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that, because I want to ask you guys this question, or I mean bring it up. I don't know if it's actually a question. I'm trying to formulate that thought as I'm talking, which is probably not great, but whatever. I also do it in therapy with clients, so it happens. So something that like my friends and I were talking about was the optimism and the hopefulness that this film has. and how like refreshing that is.
Yeah.
And it kind of has a similar feel to how people were feeling post Superman last year.
Yeah.
And so for you guys, like, and obviously, like, we are all pretty aware of like what's going on in the world and how are all of our thoughts and feelings about all that. And so what is that like for you guys to go into this movie, kind of forget everything for as much as one can for 2.5 hours and watch this very hopeful and optimistic film that is really about like the betterment of man, right? What was that like for you guys? Or do you guys feel like was that your takeaway? Thoughts?
Go for it, Walker. I have to sneeze.
Okay. So, yeah, I think salud. Yeah, I mean, I think it was great. I think one of the reasons that this movie is so successful of an adaptation is because you feel like I felt the same way I felt finishing this book as I did like when I finished the movie. Like it gave me that same feeling of hope and optimism. And I think that's like one of the things I think I have The Martian. I haven't read it, which is written by the same guy that wrote Project Hail Mary, but I have seen the movie. And I think that movie gives a similar feeling too, like showing people, you know, humanity coming together to do something like important and do something really cool. And, you know, sadly, like we don't see a lot of that right now. Like, and it feels like we're incredibly divided. And so I think this movie, I think it came out at the right time too. I think it strikes a chord with everyone to see like, you know, see the Goss and then this rock creature that like don't even speak, you know, like they're not even close to speaking the same language. Like Rocky speaks in some harmonic, melodious language, and they still figure out, you know, how to communicate and how to work together to solve this problem for the betterment of both of their like planets. And then it's just you feel so good watching this movie, and the moment towards the end of the movie when Grace has to make the decision, do I go back home or do I go save Rocky? And I think that the movie captures the same way I felt in the book. Like even though he might have thought about it, there really was he was never not going to go save Rocky. Like that was never not going to happen. And that is just so powerful and so inspiring. And so, yeah, we need more Hope Core. Let's get more Hope Core movies. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, I think, I largely just kind of feel like we're in Bible study right now when I say I'm going to echo what Walker said. I'll start my little soliloquy here with reading a text that my dad, I sent y'all a screenshot of what Craig's, what he was telling me over text, and I hope he's listening to this episode. But he read the book. He's a big reader, like loves like science fiction stuff and all that. So he read the book a few years ago, and so he was also excited to see the movie. He saw it with my mom, who did not read the book, but they still enjoyed it. And so my dad texted me this about the movie. He said, Andy Weir, the author of the book, told a story about two beings who gave their lives to save creation, and I love how the movie leaned into Grace being ashamed of being forced into being a hero, which those are layers we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
And then he said the whole arc of the movie was about how anyone can save a life. And I think like that is such a perfect summation of I guess just the overarching theme of the whole thing was, these two very different beings, Grace and Rocky, both being forced into doing something that they didn't really volunteer to do in the first place. Like Rocky was one of 23 Iridians on their ship. And he's not even like a scientist, he's an engineer. And so he got forced, and he is the only one that his planet, his entire civilization is counting on to save them. And same for Grace. But they're two cultures or two societies or two civilizations are extremely different, and I think so I'm sitting outside and the pollen is getting me so bad, dude. You see like in the book, there's like a little bit of fear, and you see it in the movie too when they first meet each other because they just don't know anything about each other.
Yeah.
But what I like, and it's the same in the book and the movie, they didn't waste time with the fear part of it. They immediately got to, how do we bridge this gap? We can't even breathe the same air, but how do we come together? How do we communicate with each other and like form a strong bond?
Yeah.
I know nothing about your planet, you know nothing about mine, but damn it, we're going to do this together and save everybody. Like sacrificing themselves at different times to do so for each other.
Yeah.
And I think like, and you see it in the flashbacks on Earth too, like they could have shown a lot of the wars or the famines or like all the other social implications that would come along with like a cataclysmic event like this.
Yeah.
And they don't show it in the book. They do talk about it a lot more in the book.
Yeah.
And those parts are scary to read because it feels like it's not far. Like there's no cataclysmic cosmic event happening in our real world right now because we don't need one for us to. Not
Growth
yet.
mentality.
Yeah.
Abundance mindset. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
But we don't need cosmic events to divide. Like we're already like so driven by fear of each other, of the other, of anybody who's different from us, and that drives division. And so even in the flashbacks on Earth, you have all these countries, all these civilizations putting everything aside and like coming together and like laughing together in the face of impending doom. And so I think, Olivia, it's a great point about how it's just like, it's just a movie full of hope. Gosh, hold on.
He's dying.
Yeah.
I love spring. And a movie like this could be such a bummer, right?
Yeah.
Like the story like this could be such a bummer. It could be a horror. It could be a thriller. It could be a tragedy. Doesn't mean it would be a bad story, but like creating a story like this and taking the opportunity to make it so encouraging and make it so, hey, this is possible.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We don't need to have astrophage eating the sun to bring people together.
Right.
You see how Rocky and Grace can like not be afraid of each other, and like it's just, it's very applicable to I feel like our lives right now, where you see so many people look at somebody with a different color skin or who speaks a different language or lives a different life than you and immediately get afraid of them, and that's when you start fighting. And it like it's our default now, you know, like, and it doesn't have to be that way. And like I
think it's an important, like, I think when I said it came out at the right time too, I think another thing, and I hope it's a lesson that people who are writing stories and telling stories can take from this movie and from this book too. You can write an amazing, compelling story where none of the important characters have to die, and it can still be really good and really compelling and really emotional. And I think, because I don't think this movie or this book would be better or have affected me more emotionally if Grace or Rocky died at some point during the story, like sacrificed themselves or something. Like, it wouldn't be. And I think so often now, you know, this is so forefront on my mind because I literally saw a quote from the creator of The Boys today complaining about the ending of Stranger Things and complaining about that specifically, like no one died. And it's like,
that's crazy. As you were talking, I was just thinking about Stranger Things.
Right. Well, and you know, it's like, yeah, I have issues with the way that Stranger Things ended, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But like complaining that no one died is such a silly complaint, because there are so many different ways to tell an effective and emotionally compelling story without, you know, death and fear being the main driver of it. Like, this movie is a perfect example of that. Like, I cried twice during this movie, and like,
I cried so many more times than that. I cried a lot. I cried so much.
Should we go through the points? Do we need to go?
I almost shed
Maybe-
a tear in the IR scene. Like there wasn't even like
it was beautiful.
it was just so beautiful. Like
Yeah.
it was just so cool looking.
Yeah.
I'll admit when he figures out Rocky has a mate, I don't know why it got me so good, but he figures out Rocky has a mate, and he's like, "How long have you been together?" 186 years. He's like, "Oh, that's a long time," and Rocky says, "Not long enough." I was like,
That got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it also got me too. So it was, I was like, man, is that true love? It has
I
to
think
be,
so.
right?
Between
Like, I don't
two
know.
Well,
books.
I don't know. I can't remember if Rocky said this in the movie, but in the book when they're having that conversation, Rocky said because he's been away from his planet for so long.
There's
like,
something
oh,
I want to talk about that too that I do wish they said in the movie, but we'll talk in a second.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, so I don't want to not to spoil what you might say,
go ahead,
but Rocky says, well, they might have a different mate by now because I've been gone for so long.
Right. That not what I was gonna say. I think I forgot about that. Honestly, sad. Don't look at me.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
crying.
in the movie. That's not in the movie.
But like even in the book, they do reunite. Like in that
Yeah.
ending scene, like Rocky talks about his mate. Like
Yeah.
like they're back. Like they waited for Rocky. You know.
It is pointed out at some point in the book that Rocky has been there. There's a couple things I want to talk about here, but it's pointed out in the book that Rocky has been there so long that when Grace would look up at the sky as a kid, that Rocky was already out there waiting for him, which like shoot me in the heart. I'm dying. Like, yeah, that's crazy. But also, I think so. Craig mentioned Andy Weir, and I think there's a lot. Andy Weir is a really, really interesting author because he was a scientist before, like his full-time job for like, and he's older too. Like he's not a young man, so he's not a
spring chicken,
right? He was a scientist for a long time, and then he started writing books. And so I think like he just thinks about stuff in a really interesting way. And so the idea that Rocky and the Iridians don't know about radiation is super interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like something I would never think about, but him as a scientist would think about. And then also I don't think they really point this out in the movie, but it's pointed out in the book. The reason that Rocky has so much extra fuel is because the Iridians don't know anything about relativity. They do say that in the movie. But so they calculated how much time it would take to get there on their planet. But when you're actually in space and you're moving at almost the speed of light, it doesn't take that much time. You know, it takes a lot less time actually for them. So Rocky is able to give the fuel to Grace because the Iridians don't know about relativity at all. And so it's kind of interesting that like kind of the reason that the rest of the people on the ship, part of the reason the rest of the people on the ship died is also the reason that he was able to, you know, fix Grace's problem. It's really, yeah, there's so much going on there. And then the only reason Rocky survived is because his workshop was beneath the fuel line. So the astrophage was blocking the radiation from him. And
yeah. Just
Andy
so
Weir's
many,
smart.
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's all I want to say. Andy Weir is
Amaze.
smart. Amaze.
Every page of the book, like 90% of it, I'm like, how did you come up with that? I don't like. There's so many layers and moving parts, like with the science and the narrative and the characters and like, yeah, like he has a very specific type of brain to be to be able to do what he does.
This is another reason why I'm like almost hesitant to read the book. I don't know if I'm smart enough to read it.
No, you are.
Let me say this. Let me say this, Olivia. Not a STEM guy right here, okay? Like, but I do not. My brain is not wired for that, and that's why I know I do not have to worry about NASA ever forcing me to go into space to save humanity.
Yeah,
I think they would shoot me in the head first. So, the best part about the book is how Andy Weir made the protagonist not only an incredibly smart scientist, but also a middle school science teacher. So with every time it gets like really in depth with the science, because he gives numbers, he gives like theories, like all of this, because the very next sentence, or at least the very next paragraph, is Grace's inner monologue breaking it down as if he's talking to middle schoolers. And so it's brilliant. Like, it's so good because, like, I got to the point about halfway through, like, I just, like, I'm going to kind of skim through the numbers part, and because I know the very next sentence is going to, like, tell me exactly what's going on. And it, like, I felt like one of Grace's students, honestly. I'm like, okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
I got you. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it. I still think you should read the book. And don't worry about not understanding it, because Andy Weir's got you.
Yeah. I would love to talk a little bit about the ending of this movie, specifically the revelation, and I would love to hear from you, Olivia, about if you saw this coming or anything. That Grace was not willing. He was not a willing participant in this.
So that I wasn't. When I watch movies, I'm not sitting there trying to go, "What's the end of this movie?
Right.
Like, how is this going to end?" Right?
Yeah.
Because I just think that takes the fun of it out of it. I like to see the movie unfold in front of me. And so I wasn't sitting there going like, he wanted to do this or he didn't want to do this. But when it was revealed that he was really forced into this role and was very reluctant, which is probably an understatement.
Yeah.
It was a little surprising, but not entirely. I think in hindsight, there's a lot of foreshadowing to it because he talks about like, you know, like he's just a middle school science teacher. This is what other people are doing. And you know, I'm just here to like tell you guys the science behind all of it. I don't need to like, you know, do any of the training stuff. But I also think like Strat believed in him, right? And she also was like, you are my only option. Like, but she also believed in him and thought he could, in fact, do it. And I think that the message there is like, we can do things, great things, even if we don't believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
If other people are believing in us, that sometimes is enough.
Yeah.
And so I was a little surprised, but not necessarily like just a whole lot, you know. So, but it was interesting to see that reveal and be like, oh, okay, so he did not want to do this. He's kind of forced into this position of being the one to be the hero to save Earth. But it kind of reminds me of like, you know, kind of like the message of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is anyone can wear the mask, right? And that's sort of kind of what I feel like this is what it's getting at is like, you know, anyone can be put in this position. If you've got people who believe in you and support you, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And of course that makes sense, right? Lord and Miller also made Spider-Verse Into the Spider-Verse. Right. And so that seems to be kind of a core thing for them, which is great. I love that. Again, the hope core is I think needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and they also did the Lego Movie, another recent episode of ours.
Also, yeah.
And what Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs and 21 and 22 Jump Street, right?
Yeah.
They're cooking. Oh, and well, they only produced it, but Cocaine Bear.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Get too excited.
So, so obviously you guys both read the book. What was it like when you came across that reveal in the book, and what was it like to see it actually unfold on screen?
I wasn't surprised. I kind of saw it coming a little bit. I mean, I'm mostly the same as you, Olivia. Like, I don't spend my time watching movies or reading books. Be like, but what if this is in the end? Like, I just, you know, I like to let it play out. Especially like mysteries. You know, like I kind of turn. I'm not trying to solve. Wake Up Dead Man.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah. I don't. Even that one, I don't really care about who did the murder at that point because the rest of the story, the themes were too good.
Yeah.
Gotta drink some water. Gosh. I kind of saw it coming a little bit just because like Grace's character was written so well that like I was already seeing his intricacies and like his fears and his desires. Like he wants to help, but he will never willingly put himself out there for anything because the one time that he did when he wrote that paper that like humiliated himself he was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never putting myself out. I'm never putting myself in the limelight or anywhere anybody can like see me. I'm going to go hide at this middle school. And so I'm like, yeah, there's no way he's on this ship willingly. It like something had to have happened for this to get there.
Yeah,
and when the explosion happened, that killed Dubois and the other one, I was like, that he's locked in. That's it. Like, he's not getting out of this, you know? And when Strat calls him in his office, I'm like, she's about to force it on him. Like, he's not going to have a choice.
Yeah. I think in the book it's definitely even more foreshadowed because they don't really talk about it in the movie, but there is a certain gene that people had that allowed them to be in a coma.
It was not in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
That allowed them to be in a coma as long as they were going to be. And so it was like, what, Walter, like 3 to 5% of the population had it or something? It was
one in every 7,000 or 70,000 people have this like coma resistant gene where you can be in a coma for a super long time and still come out of it.
And so they know from the beginning, like they knew that Grace had that gene. So I think that is a lot more heavily foreshadowed in the book that, he probably isn't willingly doing this. And I think too, I think the movie does an interesting thing that was, I'm not really sure why they made this choice, but in the book, Grace initially says no, to everything, to like doing anything more. And then he goes back to his class and kind of sees like their fear and like them being confused and not knowing what's happening. And that is more of his motivation of going back. In the movie, it kind of seems like it's more like, oh, I'm so interested in the science in this that I have to do this again.
That's what keeps him going.
Yeah.
Well,
in the point... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, just in the book, really quick, the Walker that's like mostly right, but when he goes back to the classroom after being in the lab already with Project Hail Mary, and then they're like, okay, we're done with you, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
He like the kids ask what's going on, you know, and he explains the astrophage and how like the sun will be this many degrees cooler in 30 years. And the kids, they just all brush it off in the book. They're like, oh, that's forever from now. We don't care. And they just start joking around with each other again or whatever. And that's when Grace has that moment where he's like, but they don't even, like, so many people in this world, kids, have no idea the future that they're in for. And so, like, because, like, kids don't have that foresight. Like, they don't care what's happening tomorrow, let alone 30 years from now. And so, like, there was a really good moment where he's like, it is a lot more hammered in the books how much he loves kids, even though he doesn't have any of his own. Like, he loves the younger generation, and like that's why he's a teacher at the end still. Anyway, so that is his motivation for going back. I think for time reasons, they probably just kept it going.
Well, and they kind of hinted at it, like in the office with Strat. She says like, because he's like, no, I can't do it. Like I'm not the right guy for this. And she's like, you are the right guy for this, and what are you gonna do if you don't do this? How are you gonna live with yourself? She's like, if you don't do it for yourself, do it for those kids in your classroom, do it for the world. And I think that, like, you kind of see, it's just subtle. It's so subtle, and that's one of the things I really love about Ryan Gosling is like there's these like subtle facial expressions that are just enough for you to go, oh, something is turning there, right? Like there's some gears are turning there. And so even though again they had to kind of force him into it, at the end of the day, he's doing it for the kids. And my one thing I wish they would have done, and this has nothing to do with anything, it doesn't matter like in the grand scheme of things, but at one point, he in his classroom at the beginning of the movie, one of the students, whose name is Olivia, she asks a science-related question about the astrophage, and when at the end of the movie, when they are like getting to work, all the scientists are getting to work to like to start figuring out what they need to do with all of this information that they have from him. I was really hoping that they would say one of the scientists' names was Olivia and just be a really great full circle moment.
That would be awesome.
That's my only complaint, honestly. And that doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. So,
and that knocks a whole star off the Letterboxd review.
Yeah,
I'm changing the review right now.
So anyway, all in all, this was such a great movie. We're almost at an hour, and so I realized we could probably keep talking about it for another hour. Because I think we all just really enjoyed it so much. But trying to land this Project Hail Mary, what other things you guys want to hit on before we start winding down?
Yeah. I think the very ending of this movie with Grace on Rocky's planet is like, I was like actually giddy to see this part of the movie as it's coming up, because in the book, I'm just so used to books just kind of ending and it being like if the book had ended after I knew like Grace went to go save Rocky and like the he sent the things back to Earth, like that's where I expected it to end. So getting that extra little piece of like they've created this whole biosphere for him to live, and then are letting him teach their kids science, like about Earth and stuff. It just is like, again, another example of like you can just make like a really good story and it can be happy and fun, and it can like do the things that people are going to want to see, and like it can be great. And that this movie did it, and it's like, and we got the him getting the news that they're ready to take him back to Earth, and seeing that Earth got the Beatles and stuff. It was just, it was great, and I love it. And I love too that Andy Weir, the solution to the problem, because when you think about it, astrophage is actually like, I mean, it basically allowed humans to do interstellar space travel, which we can't do, and now they can. And the solution they found to stop astrophage from eating the sun so much that it's going to dim doesn't kill it; it just keeps it in control, so that humans are still going to be able to now use astrophage for probably a lot of really incredible and crazy things in the future. And so I think that, this movie and the book and it's just so good. And if for some reason you're listening to this whole episode and you haven't seen it, go watch it on the big screen. It's worth it. Like if you're going to do it for one movie this year, like, do it for this one.
Do it for Dune Part 3. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do it for this one.
Well, listen, Greg Fraser didn't shoot Dune Part 3.
We also have the Odyssey. Don't forget about the Odyssey, guys.
Well, listen, if I'm talking to someone that they're not already thinking about they don't care about seeing, they're like, oh, I'm going to go see one movie. This is the one you should see. I'm just saying it off the rip. Yeah.
I don't think anything else is coming out this year that would be like, there are a couple of those that I definitely am going to see in theaters. If you only pick one, I can't see anything else coming out this year that would stack up. I will say,
especially if you're not like a movie person and haven't seen all the other.
You're
right. You know what?
Which is
you're right.
Me. I'm the non-movie person.
I'm slobbering I'm like, want to see the Odyssey right now. Like, I want to commit a crime. If I knew I could commit a crime to watch the Odyssey in IMAX tomorrow, I would commit the crime,
Man, I want to go see it in the IMAX 70 millimeter.
They're all sold. They've been sold out for like a year. It's crazy.
I freaking know.
When does that movie come out?
This summer.
July.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
I was told there was going to be a real trailer for it before Project Hail Mary 2, and I was pumped, and there wasn't. There was a trailer for the effing sheep detectives, but not for
Did you guys? Oh, I got one.
Yeah. Wait, you got one for Odyssey?
Huh?
I'm pissed. I'm so
Yeah, I got one for Odyssey.
I can't believe we got Sheep Detectives and not the Odyssey.
I got the Sheep Detectives one too. So don't worry, I got that one as well.
It's cute. Like we're not hating on Sheep Detectives. Maybe y'all are. I'm not.
It'll be fine. I did also, before the movie started, usually when I see a movie in Dolby, there's like a little Dolby, like kind of like there's always like an IMAX, like this is IMAX, this is
he's
what Dolby
asking
looks
and
like.
he's asking for socks and he's saying he's a good elf.
What? Stop. No, not
like
Dobby.
like Dolby the house elf.
Yeah,
that's his twin.
I'm moving past that. What was cool
Hold
though
on.
was that the directors.
All right, go ahead. The directors
The
did
directors, Lord Miller, they were both on, like, they did a little promo and was talking about like how they shot the movie, aspects of the movie that they shot, and how everything was very practical, which you've seen a lot of that online. It was just cool to see that. I love seeing either the actors or the director before a movie talking about what they kind of put into all of this. And you can tell, like, again, we've been glazing this movie for an hour and 5 minutes now about just, it's a gorgeous film.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. And it's so hopeful and funny and endearing. You're gonna go through the full emotional.
You're gonna hit every
spectrum.
emotion.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah,
it's so good.
Speaking of full emotional spectrum, before we round this video out, can we take 5 minutes to, because I think it was Olivia. I think you're the one who sent the trailer for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It was you,
no.
Walker, sent it in the group chat. And each of us said something to the effect of, we're very split on our opinions about the way the trailer and then just the concept of the show itself. So if we could take 5 minutes really quick, because we're not going to do a whole dedicated episode on this, but I would love to hear what y'all think. Walker, you already started going, so go for it.
I'm not really split. I'm just gonna watch it. Like, it looks good, I think, and I am interested in it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not like I've never read the Harry Potter books. I've only seen the movies, so that probably contributes to that.
Okay.
But
I don't have read them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with really anything so far. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're good or not. I don't know. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Olivia?
I think, I feel kind of split in the same way you feel split. That I don't necessarily want to contribute anymore to J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
And also, I do love Harry Potter. I just do. It was a huge part of my childhood. And also, like, genuinely, these kid actors for this new series look really great in character. They look so great. One of my complaints, and this is truly, I feel like, a generalized complaint I have for live action remakes and just this remake, is that it looks very gray.
It does.
Very dull.
There's
dull.
no color to it. And I feel like if you're going to have anything like this, and this is the same issue I have with one of many issues I have with the Moana live action adaptation or remake is like,
looks
how
awful.
did you make Hawaii look so gray?
Yeah.
Right.
How did you make Hawaii look like somewhere you don't want to live?
Right. How'd you make Hawaii look like Florida? Thanks.
Well, that's the worst. You know what? That's the worst judgment you could pass on that.
Florida looks better in a movie like The Florida Project than Hawaii looks in Moana. Like, something's wrong with that. There's something wrong there.
Yeah. And so that's one of my issues with the trailer we've gotten for the new Harry Potter series. But, it comes out, I think, over Christmas, and truthfully,
perfect timing.
The first two Harry Potter movies to me are Christmas movies.
Yeah.
So
I think the first two can also be considered Halloween movies as well. Like,
sure, yeah.
Basically, October to December is Harry Potter season, at least the Christopher Columbus ones.
1,000%.
Olivia, I agree with everything you said, and I'll add on a little bit. Yes, I do not love the idea of giving J.K. Rowling more money, but you know what? My existence is inconsequential to her. Anything I do is inconsequential to her.
Also,
I'm not going to...
I was going to say, HBO has already paid her,
Yeah,
like
it's not like...
They've paid her for the rights, like...
Right.
And
truly, she has received her reward.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and... Never mind. Go.
I was gonna say also, in getting to this point of like, well, I'm not going to give her any more of my money. It's like, man, if I stopped giving all of these evil people my money, I wouldn't have anything.
Well, there's
Olivia,
no ethical
don't get me-
consumption under
Damn
capitalism,
it, Walker.
guys.
I was gonna say, don't get me going about ethical consumption under capitalism.
You're just
I'll
gonna
start-
not be. You're
I'll
gonna have
start
to
applying-
live on a commune in the middle of nowhere, growing your own food and cutting your own timber.
I'm about to start applying Marxist theory to this conversation. So let me go to the next the next thought. Because yes, agreed. You can't. It's not even about separating the art from the artist. It's just the fact that, like yesterday, I was traveling for work in a different state, and I was in a rush, and I needed coffee, and I had to go to Starbucks. Starbucks as a company sucks. Had to order something from Amazon last week. Jeff Bezos is an evil, evil man. What am I to do? Okay, I'm a guy. I'm one silly guy. Big bug flying. I'm sitting on my back porch. Big bug flying around me.
He's just
of
one
evil
silly guy and
guys.
one big bug.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So anyway, yes, that it. I hesitate to do that, but you know what? I also really enjoy Hogwarts Legacy. I'm sorry, the game is fun. It's pretty. It's nostalgic. So I'm about to tie this back to Project Hail Mary. You're not gonna believe how I'm gonna do it. So when we were kids, me and my sisters, whenever there was a movie coming out that one or any of us kids wanted to go see in theaters, and if it was based on a book, my mom, the English teacher that she always has been, had a rule that you could see the movie if you read the book first. So when I was in kindergarten was when the first Harry Potter movie was coming out. I was in the target audience, okay? I looked like Harry Potter, okay? Like, I am the
Nerd.
kid who's going to go see, big ass dork. And I told my mom, like, all my friends, I was like, Mom, like, I really want, like, I want to see Harry Potter. And she was like, that's fine, you got to read the book first. I was 5, okay? I was in kindergarten. And I checked her ass. I said, sounds good. And I read the first 3 Harry Potter books before I saw the first movie came out in theaters. And so I got to see it in theaters because I was so excited. And that experience, reading Harry Potter at the age of 5, kicked off my love for reading, for stories, for books, for just any kind of cool media, which again, at the time, that was really cool media.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, seeing Project Hail Mary, I was like, I have to read the book first. Like, I can't see the movie without reading the book. Like, Amy Lyle's gonna kill me. So I'm just like,
knowing that
I'm
she didn't
30
read the
now.
book, now it's funny.
She did not read the book, and she
That
saw the
is
movie.
amazing. That's
She's grown. I have not. So I, Harry Potter, like, it just, with its litany of problems, both with the story itself, because there's all kinds of layers with the things it has to say about slavery, and some other weird topics in there that do not get handled well. And of course, J.K. Rowling and her issues notwithstanding, and her black mold in her house and in her brain.
Yeah.
And
a totally
even
broken
after-
magic system that makes no sense.
Yeah. Even after all of that, damn it, do I love Harry Potter. Damn it, do I
Amen,
love
brother.
the Wizarding World. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm 30. I was born in 1995. You cannot take this from me, okay? I don't know. I also think it's been not long enough since the movies to have a reboot.
Sure.
And, like, to just redo the whole thing again. Would have much rather seen a more original story in the universe, a la Andor or Rogue One, like in Star Wars. We don't need these retreads yet. But the new cast looks great, except for, and I'm so sorry, I'm sure he's an amazing actor. I've never seen him anything. Papa Isidore as Snape has some weird implications within the story.
So many weird implications.
And listen, I'm not even like, it's not that I don't care about race swaps. I like a good race swap sometimes. It makes it more interesting. Like, I love when, I didn't really watch Rings of Power, but they put more black people in this, like, European, medieval themed fantasy world, and it rules, okay? Like, it's a fantasy world. Do whatever you want. Nothing matters. Who cares? But I saw a tweet earlier today where somebody is like the picture of, like, first look as Papa Isidore, Severus Snape, and somebody quote tweeted, a black person, I'll say this, quote tweeted and said, the Snape flashback scene go look like Jim Crow footage. And
Yes, I saw that too.
And I was like, that is gonna be a tough watch. They're gonna have to handle that differently.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to stray from the book if they're not gonna make that look really bad. So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
let's just be honest though. When is Harry Potter supposed to take place?
the 90s
So when was Harry's dad in school?
would have been the 70s.
Wait.
Probably racist.
In England?
Yeah, probably racist.
No,
like,
you're right.
let's just be honest. Like, his dad was Harry's father. He might have been the bravest person that this Hagrid had ever met. Probably racist.
It probably would have been earlier. It probably honestly would have been the 60s because it's the first book came out in 97 and that's I open at the close. And so if he's 18
No. Listen. I was okay.
I'm
Calm
just
down,
kidding.
Olivia.
I'm sorry.
I was born in 95, right? My dad was in high school in this because he and my mom got married early 91, and they were in their early 20s when they had me. And James and Lily Potter were also in their early 20s when they had Harry. So I think they would have been in high.
You're not listening to what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is 97 when the first book came out.
Yeah,
is the end of that's when the Battle of Hogwarts happened in the timeline.
Oh, so 1990 is the first book,
which
means
means
7 years.
Yes. So in 90 he was 12.
11.
And so
yeah, it was in the 60s.
Born,
his dad was at Hogwarts in the 60s.
It was super. It was even worse.
We're
racist
cooked, chat.
Bastard. What a bigot. Holy
I
crap.
love the collective math we all just did on that.
Holy crap.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough watch.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
So.
What a great challenge for a young actor. He has to grapple with his dad not only being a bully, but also racist.
Saying the N-word, yeah. It's because that's the thing. They just let James, the character of James, lean into it even more. Make him actually be racist, and that means Harry has to deal with even more. That makes it hit even harder.
Yeah.
They might.
But
and I have to say,
for anybody who doesn't, everybody doesn't know that reveal. You don't see the flashbacks until the 5th book. So the first 4 seasons of the show, you're gonna be like, why is James Potter so venerated?
Yeah.
He seems like a bad guy.
Yeah. I also have to say that the first look of Snape where he's like in the snow looks sick as hell. It's awesome.
Oh, he looks bad
awesome.
as hell, dude. Like, yeah, he looks cold in both ways.
Yeah.
Because he's in the snow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful man. He is.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
yes.
handsome.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
An amazing name, Papa Asidu. Come on, dude.
Fire.
You can't have a better name than that.
That's fire.
Real
quick, too, we're getting before we end. I'm gonna go off on something else because we talked about Harry Potter long enough, and I'm calling it. Sorry, millennials. I'm calling
no,
it.
that's fair. That's fair.
Our resident Zoomer is moving us along.
I saw Undertone Friday night before I saw Project Hail Mary on Saturday, and it is great. It cost $500,000, got bought by A24 at South by Southwest last year. It has a great story about how the director came to make it. And yeah, it's really good. It's a really good horror movie. It's very tense. If you go see it, I was nervous in the probably first 20 minutes, like, ooh, I don't really know about this. And by the end, I was like, it all makes sense. I know why it was the way it was in the beginning, and it was amazing. I loved it.
You said I should not watch this.
Don't ever watch this movie, Walter. I can tell you if you want me to why you shouldn't, but you don't want to watch it.
Is in a spoiler-free way for anybody else who might be listening, and maybe for Olivia, you don't like horror movies though, so maybe Olivia.
Olivia's not going to watch it either. I don't think.
I won't watch it.
Yeah,
correct. You guys.
I can tell you after the episode.
Let's talk. Let's land this plane.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
That's probably a good idea.
So,
who knows our outro spiel? Because I don't know it.
Hail Mary, full of grace.
Yeah, nice. Good.
All right. Thank you to anyone who made it to the end of this episode. We really appreciate you guys listening to us talk about movies and then also ramble about trailers and anything else in between, right? And we want to give a shout out to the artists who put together our music and our artwork. That is I said Jordan Cox, Cord and Jocks, and Sean Cohen. Go check them out. We love the work that they do. And our next movie is supposed to be Ready or Not 2.
Yeah.
But since Isaac's not going to be on there, we can do whatever we want. Do we want to do Ready or Not 2?
Let's do Project Hail Mary again.
Okay, part 2.
Done.
I'm down to do Ready or Not 2, but I'll also watch something else. I'll do whatever.
Let's just do Ready or Not 2. It's already on our schedule, and I don't want to have to think about what other movie we're going to do.
Just a little look ahead. The drama is the next week, and I am very excited for that movie.
So excited for the drama.
Yeah. The chemistry between Robert Pattinson and Zendaya I've been seeing in interviews is so interesting, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. It's going to be so fun. All right.
Yep.
We did it.
We did it.
Amaze.
Project Hail Mary.
Amaze. Fist
Rocky
my bum.
Haymark.
Fist my bum.